You are listening to Your League Tennis Podcast with your host, Anthony Radonia. Anthony's an avid weekend warrior tennis player, just like you. Every week, he'll be interviewing new and exciting guests that will not only differ in experience and skill level, but also in age and physical ability. Your League Tennis Podcast is about making you a better tennis player. Whether you're a beginner or have been playing for years, in your 20s or in your 60s. Now, here is your host, Anthony Radonia.
That's my crowd.
Nice intro.
Yeah, Denise taped that. Pretty cool. All right.
Yeah.
I got my buddy Joey here. Joey Jr.
That's right.
Of course, because Pops is also Joe. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's a good place to start. So I started becoming friends with your dad.
Yeah.
Right? I guess, did we become friends at the same time, or was I more like hitting with your dad at...
Yeah, I think you were hitting with my dad. I was at away at college. And then
Oh, that's right.
2018 summer, I think?
Yeah, I think so. Because I started playing at the club in 2017.
Yeah, so I think it was summer of 2018 when I came back from school.
From school, okay.
Yeah.
And that was at what school?
Pacific University.
And you played tennis there for four years?
Up in Oregon, yeah. Division III.
D3. Mm-hmm. Cool. So what kind of teams did you play? Like, would I know any of the other names?
You know, so from down here, some of the bigger schools would be CMS, Claremont McKenna.
Claremont McKenna.
Yeah.
Cool. Did you play at Claremont? Did you guys ever do away?
We did not play at Claremont. We actually played them in Hawaii. A couple of us schools went to Hawaii to play.
Oh, that's fun. That's cool.
So Claremont McKenna, Redlands. We did our SoCal trip. Redlands University.
Oh. Redlands is D3 also?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Caltech.
These are some good schools.
Yeah.
Smart schools. Nice schools, too.
Occidental.
Wow,
we played at Occidental.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to think who else we played when we did our trip down here. I don't know. I know, not when I was there, but they played Cal Lutheran too.
Okay.
Which is Southern California schools.
And all went to Hawaii?
No, so the ones that went to Hawaii were us, CMS, Claremont McKenna. Caltech was there, and then Trinity, which is in Texas.
Yeah.
And then we also played Hawaii Pacific while we were there. That was
Hawaii Pacific.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is, I was telling Matt, when we played Hawaii Pacific, we were a D2.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Hawaii Pacific was a D2 back then. So were they a D3 when you
They're
played
D2.
them? They are D2.
They're
okay.
D2.
And every time we played them, they flew to us in Pomona.
That stinks.
So I played Hawaii Pacific in Pomona.
That stinks.
Yeah, that totally stinks. We never flew to Hawaii. Oh my gosh, my daughter's trying to knock on the door. Okay, cool. Well, I do want to talk more about your college, but let's start a little about you first, Joe Jr. Ballawag, and tell me a little about your rating. Let's just talk about that first. Get that out of the way.
5-0.
You're a 5-0?
Yes.
Do you know your UTR? Or you're not playing tournaments?
No, I don't play enough.
Yeah.
I think when I was playing in college, I was highest I got was a 10.
10 probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, right? Most college players are 10, then they get up to 11 and 12, some of the higher D1s probably.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I even published it yet, but I was doing like a little solo podcast on my tournament about tomorrow.
Yeah.
The kid I was going to play from University of Arizona is a 12.6.
Crazy.
No, that's nuts.
It's so crazy.
my whole like mission of winning one round, it was not going to happen. But then I think I told you last night, I got a default.
Right.
So I got it.
So
I won the first round. So I'm playing, I forget who in the second round. The person looks normal at least. Maybe I'll have a chance this time. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted on that. So you're 5-0, and then after college, were you ever a 4 or 5, or did they put you right into the 5-0 category?
Right, 5-0.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
I would say all college guys go straight into 5-0,
Yeah.
you think, if
As
you're
long as-
recent?
If you answer the questionnaire, like, honestly, yes.
Oh, okay.
There's still a bunch of college guys playing 4-5.
Playing 4-5, really?
yeah,
oh, wow. I didn't think about that.
Definitely.
You're right. You could totally lie.
Yeah.
But don't they ask you, like, where you went to college or how long ago?
Yeah, but you just say you didn't
You just
play
say,
college.
I don't know what college is. I can't spell college.
Exactly.
Okay. So how about when did you start playing?
Serious, like taking it seriously, probably around 11, 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Pops didn't play, or did he?
No, he did.
Did.
He was trying to get me to play way earlier than that. And I just really wasn't into it. I was into baseball. Mostly stemming
Okay.
from because all my friends in middle school were into baseball, so I like
Okay.
baseball a lot. But then I started playing tennis a lot more. Right around, I started playing tennis maybe around 10, and then taking it, like I said, seriously, playing a couple days a week.
Seriously,
11 and
because you wanted to, you think, or serious because Dad was
A
making
little bit of both. It's
little bit?
definitely started with Dad wanting me to play.
Yeah.
And then as I was getting more into it, then I was definitely into it and wanting to play. Yeah, but I did not like tennis at all for a while.
For a while, meaning when you were young, or later
Yeah.
on too. Oh, really?
Maybe a little bit later.
A little later. That's sort of my story too, though.
Yeah.
I think, I was talking to Adam about that in our podcast. It's like I played every day probably since I was like 5 or 4.
Really?
I don't even know when, because my dad was really into it, and every single day. And I didn't think it was weird to come home, go straight to tennis, not see your friends.
Yeah.
Like my little 8-year-old, she goes straight to see her friends, right? But straight to tennis, then homework at like 8:30 as a kid, right? And that was just normal for me. And then maybe that's why I didn't really enjoy it that much, and only later on in college I really started enjoying it. Obviously because of the team aspect, I think.
I was kind of the same way.
Yeah.
Going straight from school to tennis.
Yeah, yeah. And then, do anything else? You play soccer or like anything like that, or
No.
because I know you're into soccer now.
Yeah,
you and
I'm
your
into
pops.
soccer now, but
Yeah.
growing up, no, I wasn't
Nothing.
into soccer. Yeah, it was basically baseball. That was about it.
Did you play baseball in high school?
No. So that was kind of they're both the same season.
Oh,
They're
that's
both
right.
Spring.
That's
and,
right.
I felt pretty good that I could make varsity for tennis my freshman year. So I was like, I'm gonna go
Ah, cool.
to tennis.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, but you said your dad played. Like, how much? Like, I know how much he plays now, obviously, but was he playing a lot when you were young too? Like tournaments or anything?
Oh yeah. So yeah, he I can't remember the exact year, but it was definitely when I was younger. He around probably 10 was playing tournaments every weekend.
Really?
He was ranked, I think, number 1 in 4 or 5 doubles. You should ask him about it.
In what? In the nation?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, definitely top 10. He had a partner, Jim Cunningham.
My name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he used to play at the club. He doesn't play at
Okay.
the club anymore. He's older. He's not your guys' age. And
Oh, I know Jim.
yeah,
That's right. Okay.
and they would. I mean, every weekend they played tournaments. All the big ones too.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was really young and didn't really pay attention to it. Didn't care much about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But yeah,
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
he took it really seriously, but
Oh,
he still does.
I got to
But,
talk to him about that. Yeah, he still does, of course.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the things I was going to mention too is not that your dad's like much older than me, but I've always seen your dad as, I don't want to say father figure because it's not like we're having heart to hearts about like real stuff, but definitely in that realm for me, like a mentor, father figure, because it's like I said, it's not necessarily like he's pulling me aside and going, "Let me tell you about life, son."
Yeah.
But he's just a real good guy for me to watch because he really cares about tennis. He really cares about his family. He cares about his profession, you know, and so I really enjoy like him, Keith, those two guys.
me
I
too.
really enjoy like listening to those guys and just seeing them like out there on the court as sort of the older, not real old, but the next generation for me of tennis player. And then to see them so passionate about it and like just really good guys. So it's fun.
Yeah, definitely.
And so your family is your dad, your mom, and then I always forget this. You have one brother, one sister. Okay. And
Both younger. I'm the oldest.
Okay. And then do they play tennis at all?
No. My sister played soccer in high school and a little bit in college. And my brother's big into music, more of a musician. But sorry, he's actually gonna. He started in the summer, picking up a tennis racket.
Just recently.
Yeah,
Is the sparkling water messing you up?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
So off camera, Joe's like, buy some water, or I'll just take water. So I was like, cool. I'm gonna try to be cool here and go buy some nice water. And I bought some sparkling water, and it's totally messing us up.
Sorry.
If you need a break, here, let me put you on mute. You want to cough it out? Okay. If you need a break and we need to get regular water, let's do it.
Thanks.
I didn't realize how harsh sparkling was. Sparkling, I said. What were we saying? Oh, your brother is doing music. Mm-hmm. That's cool. I think I saw a video of him. Was he guitar or what was he doing?
Yeah, probably guitar.
Yeah.
But he plays guitar, he plays bass, and really in the drums too. He's super talented.
That's right.
But yeah, he picked up a racket this summer because he wanted to play a sport, and he's all in. He
is.
In. Yeah.
And how is he talented? Is he like pretty talented?
He's always been a kid who he picks whatever you want him to do, he could do it at a good level automatically.
Oh, that's cool.
He's got a huge forehand, like a legitimate forehand. Him and I can rally forehand to
Really?
forehand all day long. Yeah. Yeah.
And he's only been playing for like a year.
Since the summer, not even a year.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
His backhand needs some work, but
Yeah.
yeah, he's like I said, he's really into it. He was on JV and we'll
Destroying
see if he's
people.
Yeah, I
You don't
I
wanna say
tell
that.
people he's the best JV3 singles player in the country.
Really?
That's what I like to say about him. Yeah.
JV3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And then right now, I know you're teaching at the club, and then you're also doing some other stuff too. So let's talk about the other stuff first.
Sure.
So that was the funny thing. My daughter was so excited when you came, Mr. B, Mr.
Yeah.
Ballawag. And so you're doing some subbing.
Yep.
And then also connected to your degree, you were doing or still are doing stuff with that.
Some freelance writing. So got a journalism degree, and so yeah, doing that's where kind of the soccer part comes in. I was writing for a soccer publication, and then both my parents are educators, so in my free time, I'm also doing some substitute teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I wore my hat, because you went to USC.
Yep.
So yeah, I had to
grad school at USC.
had to do the Pac-12 hat for you. So grad school, that's so cool. And I remember you lived on campus, right, during your grad school?
Commuted. I was off campus.
Oh, but you lived with a family member or
Yeah.
something like that. That's
Yeah.
right, because as you lived by school.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's so cool. You happy about it? Do you regret doing that at all?
No, I don't. No, it was such a cool experience.
Okay.
Got to meet some really cool people in the business too, which made it really cool.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you know, but I have an advanced degree after my law degree. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Biggest waste of time in the world.
Oh,
But it
really?
was an advanced degree for lawyers. It was bad.
No,
It was a waste of time.
It was awesome.
Okay, good.
I'm into sports writing, so a lot of my professors were the ones that I got along really well with were into sports as well, and so like working at the LA Times sports editor.
That's where you were, or
Yeah, that's where.
Oh.
Yeah, one of my professors
Oh,
were former
okay.
LA Times writers or like Heisman voter. They have Heisman voters.
Yeah.
For college football. So
Oh, that's so cool.
yeah, it was really cool to get advice from them and how to exist in that business.
And so that medium still exists. The need for writers
Yeah.
writing about
So
sporting
definitely,
events.
It's a little different now. If you want to work for publications, it's like there's smaller, less jobs, but more people applying. It's really competitive. But now, obviously, like this podcast, you can sort of make your own mediums, own media outlet if you want, right? Like your own blogs, and those can, by making your own blogs and Twitter stuff, being active on Twitter, you can make a name for yourself, and then those companies that maybe weren't interested in you at first now see that you can do it and that you have viewers. People are just looking for how many views are you getting?
That's true. Yeah.
How much attention can you bring to our organization?
Yeah. So what's the plan with that? Do you plan on keep going down that road?
I'm kind of trying to figure that out, whether I want to go deeper down that road or look into teaching, actually, because I've really enjoyed teaching a lot more than I thought I would.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah.
Have you been teaching other grades besides the younger ones that I know of?
Elementary and middle. I haven't done high school yet.
Do you want to?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to sub high school. I'd teach high school for sure.
That's
I don't
true.
know if I would be a substitute.
You know what? You're so right. There's enough 80s movies about the kids killing the sub.
I
in high
tell
school.
people all the time, they're like, why don't you do high school? And I'm like, because I remember in high school how much
Yeah, you
didn't
tormented
respect the sub.
sub.
And I was the good kid. Like
Yeah.
I was not the bad kids.
Yeah.
And I didn't even respect the sub very
Yeah, yeah,
much.
yeah.
So,
You're so
I'm like,
right.
I'm going to I'll wait for that. I'm not sure if I want to go there
No,
yet.
you're totally right. Yeah, and the little kids think it's like, I don't even know, like you're a movie star coming. I remember when my little one came home, she was like so excited that she had a sub.
That's so funny.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Okay, so you're teaching at the club, obviously the tennis club. So
Yeah.
at Murrieta Tennis Club. And how are you enjoying that?
No, I love it.
Yeah.
Love it so much.
And you're doing kids groups, adults, lessons, everything.
Yep.
And like, okay, so let's say, so you know my game, and I come to you for a lesson. Like, I don't know, is there something, are you telling me what to do, or am I sort of suggesting things? Like, what do you think's gonna...
Well, so with your game, and with people around your level, it's usually going to be something pretty specific, right? And so I'd ask you, what do you want to work on? Because usually people at your level, same thing with me, I know what I'm not great at and what I want to work on, right? For more beginner people, it might be something more broad in terms of what we're working on.
Yeah.
I mean, you beat me yesterday. I don't have any pointers for you.
We'll talk about that. That's on page 3 here. We'll talk about that.
I have to go to you, I guess, for a lesson.
You know what's funny is lately, I'm not coaching, obviously, but lately when people ask me about, I don't know, tips, like, you know, my wife or just some of her friends or anyone at a lower level of mine, because they think the higher level knows it all. We don't, right? But they'll ask me about something. I've been realizing lately that it's not so much like, let me see your forehand. You're holding this wrong. You're doing... Only lately, maybe I'm becoming wiser as I get older, but only lately I've been realizing it's more like how they think of things. Like, does that make sense? Like, do you know where I'm going with this? Yeah. And like, that's why I've been so focusing with like on the shoulder turn. It's like, I've been saying, don't think power comes from your arm. Just something that simple makes them think differently. Right. So I don't know. I just think that's been valuable. Like, how much of that versus like just, I don't know, the technical side of teaching is there in your stuff? Like, do you find that?
Yeah. For more beginners, I think it's more technical because especially at the beginning, you don't want anyone to build a bad habit in terms of their swing. So it's really technical, and I think it might be kind of boring for some people because I'm trying to get that swing down so we can move on and we don't have to worry about the swing ever again. Let's get your swings down, specifically forehand and backhand, the ground strokes, and then we'll go from there. Because I mean, there's not a lot if you can't hit a forehand and backhand, we can't really advance anywhere. We got to get that down, and you feeling confident in it. Before we can go on with anything else, especially before we can get into like any strategy or anything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then how about like, I've been having trouble with my serve. So I'm actually just using this as a free lesson, by the way. That's why I invited you. I'm not paying for this lesson. So I've been having trouble with my serve. And I think I told you last night, or maybe a couple days ago, that someone told me to put my left hand up. And so little things like that have been changing me dramatically because
important.
Because I've been working on my serve forever. Like, people have been telling me like my grip, this, that, and it was like no one ever told me anything about my left hand. Like I never heard anything about my left hand. And finally, one person said, "You're dropping your left hand. Just pledge of allegiance with your left hand."
Smart.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. Too. And like that's what I was saying about you said if you were to come to me for a lesson, I mean, it's little things like that. That's how specific it can be if you already have, the broad strokes down. And that thing especially on people's serve. That's what I'm telling a lot of people is if you're missing, you're serving the net. It's two things. It's either your toss is too low, or by the time you're hitting, like you said, that's why your hand's here. Is when you're coming down. Your body's going down, the ball's going to come down. So if you're making contact and you're like this, the ball's it's going to go in the net every time.
Which is exactly what I was doing in swing vision. My left hand was dropping, my chest was down, and I was somehow trying to just like that pose you did. I was trying to somehow get it.
So by keeping that hand here, that's super smart.
Yeah, it kept me up, kept my chest up. Everything changed just with that little thing. And even in strokes, like something I was working on with my wife just this morning, she was dropping her left arm on a forehand. Yeah. And I was like, babe, just put it on the you can almost like Djokovic it, put it on the racket and turn and then release. And it changed everything for her. She had her left arm up. She was more balanced.
Yeah. And that's the big thing. I mean, that's why I tell a lot of the kids I'm coaching, you need that arm out, even just so you know how far away to be from the ball, right? Because if that arm's down, you don't know how far away to be.
Oh, that's interesting too.
Or I get a lot of kids lunging too far away. I'm like, you got to be one arm away. One arm away from the ball. And then with that swing, that arm, goes away. Like you don't have to worry about hitting your arm. Your arm's
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
go away as you swing.
Yeah. But I never thought about that. That's so huge because you're
Yeah.
right. A lot of times you're caught in that left arm sort of going to help you. What's it called? Like, what's the word I'm using here? I don't know, but gauge
Yeah,
like where the ball
exactly.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's awesome. So when you're playing still, you're not just teaching, you're still playing like we talked about. We played last night. Sorry to bring
Yeah.
this up. But the Swing
That was
Vision
good.
video is almost out. I forgot to send it to you. But we had a lot of fun last night.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So just to talk about it, we ended up, I started thinking like, let's play some fun singles. You know, we don't get enough of that. We do a lot of drills, hitting points to 11, doubles, but not enough just like singles play. And so I started texting everyone who can do it. Me, you, our friend Slav, and Tommy joined last night. We played like mini pro sets, or I don't forget what they're
Fast
called.
four.
Fast fours. That's
Sets
right.
of 4.
Sets of 4. So we played, and we had a good battle. I ended up taking it.
You talk first, then I'll talk about
Oh,
it.
okay.
Go. You don't have to be respectful.
Let
by
me
the
pretend
way.
to be humble.
We had a good battle. I don't think so.
No, we did. We had a good battle. And you'll see on the Swing Vision, I don't see our strokes being that different. There was just that, maybe that little extra ball penetration I had. And
No,
like
definitely.
you were stepping back. And I think that was
Definitely.
the slight difference.
Yeah.
And, but that's only a recent thing for me. I don't know if it was just last night or just recently.
Your ball was. I mean, it was piercing deep in the court too. And for me, when I get, for whatever reason, I think it's because we were playing for something, I get a little nervous, and so
Put a little money in it.
exactly. So I'm not turning my shoulder or stepping in. I have my chest out and I'm swinging
out.
like this. And so my ball is just kind of looping. Like I still get the spin because I get it all in my wrist, a lot of it in my wrist, but it's not doing anything, right? So that's what it felt like last night. I was just waiting for you to miss, and you weren't missing. So if you're not missing, I wasn't gonna win a lot of points.
But you hit a naturally good spin ball anyways.
Yeah, but last night, to me at least, it wasn't like I said, doing anything. It wasn't going into you at all. You were able to it was like a ball machine ball. That's what it felt like. You know, you were relaxed, and for me, when I get a little tighter, I don't hit my backhand at all. I try to run around everything. And I think that opens up the court for you too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. What do you think about the? I know you're like everyone's always making fun of me because I'm messing with weight on my racket.
Yeah.
Is that a factor for you at all? Do you think that'll ever change?
No.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Because I know you recently switched to the Technofiber
Yeah.
racket, which you love, and I loved it when I tried it.
Yeah.
But it's not a weight issue, you don't think?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
What do you think it is besides your forehand, chest open, which obviously, like we talked about, it means you're not turning
Yeah, it
probably
constricts.
correctly.
You get like you were saying, I get all arm.
All arm.
Right? And so I'm not using my hips or my legs where I get my power
Yeah.
from.
But your backhand, you're probably turning correctly though.
I just don't have confidence in it. That's been like since I was a
okay.
little kid. It's just a mental thing. Yeah. And again, maybe not so much not confidence, but I just favor my forehand a lot more than my backhand.
Yeah.
And so like last night, I'm going to try and just do everything to get a forehand. And I actually, my inside forehand is my favorite shot.
It is or isn't?
Is.
Yeah.
So that's why even more so I was just going around everything. I'm in the outside the doubles alley trying to hit a forehand, being an idiot and
that's
giving
funny.
you the
I gotta-
entire court.
I got to go back and look at that
Yeah.
then. I don't really remember that. It just goes to show how much that's another one of my issues. I'm not watching you. Like I'm working on
Yeah.
my ball. Like I'm purposely now trying to hit deep penetrating balls.
Yeah.
And before, to tell you the truth, I wasn't. I was just like, try to hit it hard or try to do this. But I'm not really watching you. So I gotta start changing that.
Yeah, I mean it's that simple. That's why I tell a lot of people too. If you can hit 4 to 5 balls past the service line every point, you're gonna win so many points.
Totally.
Like you're putting pressure on your opponent, and it's as simple as if you're hitting it past the service line, they can't attack you. And if they try to attack you, they're probably gonna miss that ball. That's a hard
Yeah.
ball, right?
Totally.
And if you hit 4 to 5 balls inside the service line, it's a different story. It's an easier ball
Yeah.
for your opponent to attack. So it might not be the case, but if you can hit 4 to 5, and if you can hit more, even better, past the service line, you're going to win a lot of points.
And if you're hitting deep, you probably have more of an opportunity to get in also.
Oh, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Which is something me and you probably don't do enough of also, right? Do you think sometimes we feel a little too comfortable like on the baseline or?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think maybe Maybe, yeah. I mean, I'm super comfortable at the base, and I think my ground strokes are probably my best attribute, my strength, and so maybe I'm being a little too conservative, waiting for the right ball. Like there's probably a couple balls before I actually go in that I could.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think that might be true.
Because it is one of the things I notice when I'm watching Swing Vision. I go, why didn't I go in there?
Right.
Or there's like I do a lot of reaching for the ball, and it's not even that short. It's not like it's 3 feet in front of the service line.
It's a couple steps.
It's like 2 steps in front of the baseline, and I'm like, ugh. And I'm
Is
like,
that like you're not seeing the ball like early enough?
I think so.
So you're reacting late because you don't recognize the ball shorter, or is that just sometimes laziness?
It has to be a combination of all that, but it's also sometimes my instinct is that first step is backwards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is totally, that just sounds wrong when I say it. But a lot of times on camera, I was watching myself.
Yeah.
Like my split step and sort of getting ready, I was sort of on my back heels. I don't know, expecting a deep ball. I'm not really sure. But it was so noticeable when even a ball that wasn't that short, only like literally 2-3 feet in front of the baseline,
Lunging for it.
I had to lunge for it.
Yeah.
I was not there ready.
Yeah.
And even worse, my instinct was after I hit, I went back.
Retreating,
So it's not like I'm going forward. Like I hit and run back to the baseline.
And if I see your racket going like that or like this,
Yeah.
I'm cheating in. I'm expecting that ball to be short too, which
That's
puts you
true.
in a tough position too.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta fix that. When we play, like something I was thinking about last night when we played like Tom.
Yeah.
Like I like playing Tom because his strokes are really nice. But and this isn't making fun of Tom. On my Swing Vision video, I keep saying, this isn't making fun of Tom. I'm just like trying to notice things. But I felt like it's fun playing Tom because he wasn't moving too well last night. He said he had an injury.
When does Tommy not have an injury?
He said he had an injury. But it was fun to play him because if you hit at him, he'll actually hit a really nice stroke back, right? And so I had to like purposely try to move him. And I just saw how sometimes the angles too were so effective. I was like going deep, and then once I saw him deep, I was like going angle. And so he was a really good, again, I'm not making fun of him. He was a really good ball machine for me last night. Because he was like showing me sort of like
You were so confident. You were just experimenting.
Yeah,
against him,
in a
trying
weird way.
different things out.
in a weird way I was, but it was so helpful.
Yeah.
Because he was like showing me I can push a guy deep. Once that person goes I always get these mixed up. Vertically? Is that horizontally? Shoot. I'm sounding like an idiot. But diagonally backwards. Once they go diagonally backwards, then I sort of had the opportunity to do more spinning, and it didn't have to be hard winner. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. Yeah, that's what a lot of praise to my dad for strategy wise, just patterns and what to go for. Thinking 3 balls ahead of the current ball you're on. Like, what are you trying to do to get to this guy's weakness and to your strength as much as you possibly can?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your dad was the first person that really made me think about double strategy beyond just poach stay.
Yeah.
Which is all I used to know. Your dad has poaches for returning side too, and I didn't know that was even a thing. So I met your dad. I'm sure people do it. I'm sure pros do it. I'm sure college kids do it. I just didn't know about it. And your dad has a lot of strategy. The eye, we used to call that the Australian, or is the Australian something different? I forget. But yeah, he does the eye. Oh man, yeah, your pops is awesome. What's gonna bring you, or if you even care, because I know you're doing so much other stuff, what's gonna bring you to the next level in tennis?
That's a good question.
But first of all, do you even care? Like, are you happy where you're at? Like,
yeah, I am happy where I'm at currently. Just in terms of, I put a lot of work in as a junior, and then in college, a ton of work mentally too, to get to where I was. And so it was really nice to just chill and to just hit, and no consequences, good or bad, whatever happens, win or lose, not a big deal. But you said in terms of how to take my game to the next level, I would say, that's a good question. I don't even know.
see, because you're not taking lessons. You don't really have time.
Yeah.
You're working too much.
Yeah.
Maybe when I end up sending you that swing vision, maybe you'll have like something else to say about it. Like, because
Right.
it's really eye opening watching yourself.
Honestly, I think it's what would take me to the next level is just mental stuff. Because when I'm relaxed, I feel really good about my game and what I'm able to do. Because I think strategically I'm able to figure out what I want to do and how to manipulate the point to get to what I want. But it's just mentally if I'm believing in myself.
So you think it's a non-believing, or is it a nervousness, or are those the same thing?
Yeah, I think you could call it the same thing. I want to win so bad, I'm hurting myself, like mentally. I'm like freezing.
Interesting.
Like noodle arms.
Yeah. And wanting to win, like the point, means that you're maybe not like hitting out, not trusting it.
Oh, definitely. Like last night, it came down to a thing of not missing. Like I'm getting really nervous. I'm not moving my feet, and that's when I know I'm nervous because I'm not moving, and my chest is out. And I'm hitting like this, just trying to keep the ball in play instead of trying to win the point. Even though I want to win so badly, instead of trying to win the point and being okay, making some mistakes, I'm almost playing not to lose and just trying to keep the ball in.
And not that you even know the answer to this, but like, why is that happening? Because you are like you said, you're out of college, right? You have
just want wins. It's just competitiveness. Yeah, it's how competitive I am.
So that's interesting because you want to win. It's there. So you're not thinking about I'm going to miss and lose.
No, it's self-belief too. About if I believe I can do it, and that's when I talked about just wanting to chill. Because after, especially my senior year specifically at Pacific, it was a lot of mentally trying to manipulate myself into believing I can beat anyone, no matter who it is. That was mentally exhausting, and it was really rewarding though, super rewarding because it worked. I was finally beating people that were probably better than me. I definitely would not have beaten earlier on, but. Like as you know in tennis, like mentally being okay in your head and believing in yourself is just as important as anything physically you're doing in tennis.
It's weirdly been almost the most important for me lately, because again, I don't know if I'm playing different. I don't see it. Some people tell me, "Oh, you're doing this different. You're doing this better." I truthfully don't see it, but I know for a fact when I get out and I'm rallying. And I go, okay, I know I'm going to win this point, or I know I'm going to win this game, or even if I lose this game, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And that's what actually happened last night with Slav. First game, he went up 40-love. I ended up winning that game. And I don't remember telling myself, oh, I'm going to win this game, positive thinking.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel defeated at 40-love like I used to. And I was like, I'm just going to take it point by point. And I ended up getting back to deuce. And I was like, oh, that's surprising. And then now I'm like, cool, I'm even. So I think in the past I would have been like, yeah, right, win 3 points in a row.
No chance.
To get back to deuce. Yeah. So that's, I think, been the big difference for me. And again, I don't even know what that's from. It might just be from a lot of match play.
Experience is huge too. Like being in those positions, I mean, give you the experience of how to deal with them.
Yeah. And losing a lot is important. You know what I mean? Because I think if I wasn't losing so much and then having to like deal with it, I don't know. I mean, I think it matters. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because only then I started feeling like I know how to deal with it. And then anyways, it became a thing where I wasn't so like down at myself and mad at myself. Yeah. So just how to deal with it, I think is important. So since that's one of the things that you've been talking about now, like, do you do any meditation or like prayer, nothing like that?
So like I said, during school, when I was still at Pacific, I would do some things.
Yeah.
A lot of writing, actually. Like if I can see it on the paper and then read it, convincing myself that I'm going to win this match, I'm going to beat this person, helped me out a lot.
Were you writing specific tennis stuff or just writing anything that sort of helped you relax?
I don't know if it's cringy, but I would say whoever the opponent was, I'd say, I will beat opponent because I am a winner.
Ah, interesting.
And I would write that 2 pages, that sentence.
Wow.
2 pages full. And then during the match, every single point I was telling myself, I would say that phrase out loud, like under my breath, not like yelling it, under my breath.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying that phrase over and over and over again. So I believe it until I believe it.
That's so interesting. And so this is what I was talking about earlier too, which is I don't think it's not just positive thinking. That's just too simple.
Yeah.
It's actually believing you can do the thing you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's slightly different than just positive thinking,
Sure.
I think. Because positive thinking is just like, I am the best, but there's no like concrete, like, I don't know, stuff surrounding
sometimes
that.
you're not the best. And how you
Exactly.
figure it out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the best, I mean, you see this with great teams, great tennis players, whatever the sport is, the greatest at it can win when they're not at their best, right? When they don't need to be at their best. How do they still figure it out? That's what makes them so great.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think that might be a little different than just the positive thinking.
Just the positive thinking. Yeah. And thinking about, what's that Jordan documentary recently?
Last Dance.
Last Dance. I watched it like 100 times. I can't believe I didn't know the name.
That was another part of it.
Yeah.
Like, my girlfriend makes fun of me. Like, before every match, I'd watch the documentary.
Oh, really?
Watching it. Just getting pumped. Watching Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was, someone, I forget who was commenting on Michael, was like, he just figured out a way to never lose.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so that was one of the things that they were saying. Like, it didn't matter if he was a little, sick or whatever that day, he would figure out a way to win that match.
Right.
And that's the part that's always been amazing to me. Obviously, he's amazing talent, whatever, but that is the big difference.
Yeah.
And I do see that now in certain tennis players too. Like, they just can figure it out. It always remind me of...
They can't wrap their brain around losing. You know what I mean? Like, and I've played some Division I players too, whether it be in tournaments or just in the area. And it's crazy when you get to, I'll beat them. We'll play a tiebreak. I'll win the first one immediately. But like, before I'm even crossing to go sit down on the bench, rematch.
Yeah.
And then the next one was tight. And then that third one, they like blow me out of the water because they're just at a different competitive level of like, I refuse. I am not going to lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've noticed that with like the higher division in college or professional athlete, it seems like they have that certain mentality, I guess.
Yeah.
Which makes them so great.
Totally. And they know how to figure it out during the match, which is why the 3 out of 5 sets majors are so different sometimes than the 2 out of 3 set tournaments that are played. The same people sort of rule the majors versus, the smaller tournaments, which anyone can win in a weird way. What else can I say? Oh, so I just want to go back to this racket thing real quick before I forget. Because when I was trying the Technofiber, I felt this deadening.
Yeah.
Is that a word? Okay.
Well, I don't know if that's a word, but I know what you're talking about.
And I liked it, actually, which is why I started using this, the Luxilon AU Power Vibe, which is like a dead string. Yeah, I've been telling you, remember the Vibe? And I've been liking that. And so is that why you like your racket? It feels dead?
Yeah. I think, so I had the Babolat Pier Arrow, but the old version, like in 2017. And I had that racket from 2017 until this past November. And I was like, it's just time for a new racket. And then, one of those clinics that we do, a Technofiber rep came out. And I'd used the Pier Arrow to get more power and more pop on my ball. And now I feel like I can generate more power than I could. And then with this racket, I just felt like wherever I could put the ball wherever I wanted, which is huge for my game as like a counter puncher. I need to have that ability. And so it's just like that ball was on a string. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this. Like, I want the ball to go there. Boom. On a dime. Boom.
Yeah. I felt that too when I tried it. I'm not even sure why I didn't go to it. Yeah. Because I loved it for the few days I tried it. And then I just went back to my Wilson's. But maybe I'll try it again because I actually did. I actually did love it. And that's the Luxilon string too. That Luxilon string is...
Yeah, I was using that string as well. Not the Vibe, but I was using the Luxilon.
I told you people hate the Vibe, right?
Everyone except you.
Everyone hates it. I can't even find it anymore. I don't think Tennis Warehouse sells
it. It's out of business, yeah. It's not profitable.
I'm so lost at that. It's like a cheating string. I have to go buy it up off eBay or something. That's so hilarious. So you're not... I forget. Did you sign up for the league, the 50 league?
No, so not this one because I have a lot of lessons on the weekends.
Oh, that's
so
right.
I just really wasn't able to make that commitment.
You interested in playing more league matches, or? Yeah.
So that league's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's tough on us. Our team, the back-to-back is just killer.
I know.
Because, we with our team, we got a solid team, but then the teams we play also do. And then when you have to go back-to-back, they have like a second string that just comes in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of like 25 to 35-year-olds.
Yeah.
And who are ex-college players. And then for us, it's the same guys.
Yeah.
And most of our guys are a little older, right? Like,
And they're like playing 2 matches.
yeah, and they're playing 2 matches. And then they have, like I said, 2 sets of, it's not like a second team, like a backup team. It's still just as good as their first team. You know what I mean?
Totally. But I'm the one that wanted the double headers, right? Did you know that?
No. Why do you want the double
I'm
headers?
so sorry. Now I feel like I
had no idea.
Because what happened was I thought it was tough for everyone to come out each weekend. And so I ended up telling the representative from USTA, is it possible to do double headers?
That kills us.
Oh, it's horrible.
Tom Lee's dying by the end of that thing.
Imagine you got to tell some of these guys go play 4 sets, or even with like a tie break.
You're hilarious.
No,
I would
trust me, I realized it's bad.
I would think differently if we had enough guys to field basically 2 teams,
No,
or
you're
like
right.
only 1 or 2 guys had to play
twice.
But
When you're asking Tommy,
yeah.
the ball machine, that's my new name for Tommy. Tommy the ball machine.
I'm sure he loves that.
Oh my gosh, I thought you knew that I asked for the double
I
headers.
didn't know that. I thought that was just like unique to this league. I'm like, okay.
No, it's me
That's
stupidly
so
thinking
funny.
it was better for us. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. I don't know, I'm just thinking about Tommy too. Last night he said he pulled a hammy. But
Here's the thing, and I'm gonna look right in the camera. Tommy only seems to pull something when he loses. Tommy's always in great health when he wins at anything. Great health.
I haven't seen him win anything. The good thing about Tommy though is that he is funny about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's anyways, I don't want to go. I'll wait for Tommy to get in front of the come to the podcast, and then I'll talk my smack to him. But Tommy's our good buddy. That's why we do it. We only make fun of people we care about.
Exactly.
Actually, I wouldn't make fun of someone I didn't like. It's not worth it. Okay, so now let's examine me a little more, because I have a actually very important question about. So my backhand feels so much more solid than my forehand.
Backhand's so good.
Yeah, but does it look better too? Because I guess that's leading to my question. Because
Your forehand's good too.
yeah,
I get
but
no
then
issues with
why
your
isn't
forehand.
the backhand a weapon then? Is my question. Because it feels solid, but what am I doing wrong on my backhand that I'm not doing on my forehand? Because my forehand, obviously, I feel like I can hit some winners.
I think for you, I noticed when and again, I'm talking about the mental side of the game so much, but when you're not thinking, there's not a lot of better tennis players in this area. When you're not thinking, when you're just playing, does that make sense? And I noticed when you start to sort of overthink and think about exactly what's going on here, my footwork. That's when, like I said, I think you're overthinking it and getting in your head too much. Dude, when you're just playing, both strokes are completely fine. Like I think you're putting that weight on yourself of your backhand not being a weapon. I think it can be a weapon if you just allow it to be.
It's interesting you would say that, because one of the conversations I had with Coach Doug, the other day and he was giving me a lesson, was he hit a ball like easy to me down the middle, and I forget what the drill was, but he said hit the approach anywhere, and I remember thinking like 4 different shots, and then I lost the game, and then after that game I said let's do the same drill. This time I'm going to approach down the middle. So it takes my brain out of it. I don't want to think.
Right.
And my approach became 100% better. Right. And I ended up winning the game approaching down the middle, versus I lost the game when he allowed me to approach anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's totally my brain's getting in the way. I feel like a lot of times I'm thinking too much.
I know we've talked about that. I know you want to talk about your backhand, but when we played a couple of doubles tournaments, and we had talked about giving signs. Everyone gives signs on the serve, but also signs on the returning. You had talked about that. It just turns your brain off. Okay, you want me to go cross court? Perfect.
Oh, that's right.
Instead of you having to be like, oh my God, I'm watching the net guy. Where's his serve going to serve it? If I just tell you, I want you to go down the middle, I want you to go line, I want you to go cross court, it immediately for you, because you have told me this in the past, like it takes your brain out of it. Okay, Joey wants me to go cross.
Meaning you're the guy at the net.
Yes, and I'm telling you to go wherever direction.
That's right. I totally forgot about that. You would tell me where to return. And obviously it's a little it's not maybe always the best strategy, right? Because it sort
Yeah.
of locks me in too
Right.
much. But the point of it, like you were saying, was that it took my brain out of
Takes
it.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Out of you thinking, because I
Forgot
know
about that.
when I play you, and especially when my dad and I play you, I am always, and you know this, because I know you're always looking at the net guy.
Yeah.
And I'm always, if you're playing the deuce side, returning on the deuce side, I'm dipping my right shoulder just for you to see that. Oh, he's going. And I'm back. And it's worked a lot.
Well, it's hard playing you and your dad because you guys are always thinking, like being smart, and you guys are able to think. See, that's my issue. Like you said,
Yeah.
I shouldn't be thinking, but you and your dad are like playing chess out there.
Yeah. That's because of him.
Yeah, because your pops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to talk to your pops more on a podcast. That'd be good. He would probably come in here and give us some sort of dissertation on something.
Yeah. You could do different lectures. You can have
Yeah.
like a lecture a week on different strategy.
That's so cool. Yeah, okay. So that's interesting that you brought that up. Even on the return call signs, if I think it's a really good tip. If you're paying attention to the net person too much, if you're wondering what to do here,
Yeah.
like just have the net person maybe call a sign and go hit cross court.
Yeah. And you just got to, even if you don't have your net person telling you the sign, you have to mentally say, no matter what, I'm going cross court. You just got to commit to the shot. Commit to your ball, whether it's down, even if it's down the line. I'm committing. Whatever happens, I'm going down the line, right? Because that mentally too, I'm doing that because not that's going to win you the point every time, but just mentally it keeps you focused on. I'm trying to do everything to get that ball there. I'm not thinking as soon as the serve comes, I'm having to hesitate and make a decision because oh my gosh, the server served it here, the net guy's coming this way, all this is happening. I'm committing to this ball no matter what.
Yeah. And I think also there's a huge benefit in having a smaller target in a way, because and that reminds me of like I forget that movie with Mel Gibson where he was The Patriot. Do you remember that movie? No, you didn't see it.
I'm young, dude.
Oh, that's true. You're like, who's Mel Gibson? But so this movie called The Patriot, he told his sons they were like shooting muskets or something, like when they were, I forget what happened. But he said, aim small, miss small. That was like the line. And so it totally makes sense even in tennis. Like sometimes when I feel like I don't have a target, I miss big. And if I'm aiming for a smaller target, even the miss is going to be more localized, right, in the spot I want. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like you telling me hit cross court, that focuses me on this smaller target maybe, and I think that's a lot beneficial too. It reminds me too of like the return. Lately, I've been focusing on hitting down the middle returns, like sort of over the low part of the net.
That's a really good play.
Yeah.
Especially when you got someone at the net who maybe, isn't that confident at the net.
Yeah.
I'm just driving it middle. You're gonna let that
In
go.
dubs. Yeah.
Drive that middle. Either you press, miss your volley, press, hit a ball that my guy at the net, my teammate's able to hit, or that miscommunication between the guy at the baseline thinks the guy at the net's going to go for that ball, anything like that.
Yeah.
So driving that flat down the middle is, I use that play a lot too.
What do you think your dad would say the most important thing in doubles is? Like if he,
Stop. Don't even ask me.
or
It's the same thing for singles. He says three words. Start the point. Start the point. He has told me that. You can ask him. You can ask Harry. You can ask Steven. They've all heard it. And they all live by it. You can ask him, start the point. You can't win any point you don't start.
That's true.
Put the ball in play.
That's pretty basic.
Right? And that's why I tell a lot of the juniors too, you can't win any point you don't start. Put your serve in, put your return in, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But that too. Yeah, that's the big one.
That's huge. And it's funny how this is all coming together for me too, because watching my swing vision, I've been noticing how often I'm winning the returning games because I'm mentally thinking down the middle, hard return deep, and I'm not missing them much. Like, I don't know if you realized last night. Like,
you didn't have any
didn't
misses.
miss any returns.
That's, like I said, that's why you beat me, because you weren't missing. And that was kind of the only way I was going to beat you last night.
Yeah, but you're right. Start the point, missing the return.
It's
twice a game,
especially in doubles.
Oh my gosh.
First serves are huge in doubles too. Getting your first serve, and you're going to win.
You're right.
You're going to hold so much easier.
Yeah,
if you get that first serve in.
Yeah, you're right. Man, we got a lot more to do. Lot to think of. We got to keep playing our Wednesday night singles.
I think we're going to get more people out too, especially as the summer rolls around.
So, who won last night? I don't remember.
This guy right here.
That was so fun, though. You'll win next time. I'm pretty positive. I don't know. I just felt a little lucky last night, to be honest.
You were like, it wasn't a question. You were the best player out there by far that night.
So, what was your score with Slav? Slav was
4-1.
hitting some good balls, too. You beat him 4-1?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought Slav was going to take me. Slav was swinging nice on his forehands. I commented on that.
Player.
Yeah. What I was commenting on Swing Vision about Slav was he's like a natural talent. Like he sort of can do
So
what he wants.
smooth. Yeah. He's really smart too.
That's true.
He's really good at getting the ball he wants. You know, sometimes it feels like he's toying with you.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
No, you're
You're
totally
like a
right.
puppet, it feels like. I hate it. I could feel it in the point. This guy's just bringing me around everywhere. I better win this point. I hate this.
You know, I was thinking more about your like love for soccer. I know we didn't really talk about it that much. Maybe we can sort of end with it because it's actually 50 minutes. And I was telling you I want to sort of cut it off before an hour before my camera shuts off on me.
Yeah.
which has been happening. But you've been going to Galaxy games or no?
Been to a few Galaxy games.
Part of work or for fun?
Yeah. Oh, growing up for fun. My dad's a massive Galaxy fan, so we would always go to the Galaxy games. But yeah, recently for work, I do a lot of women's soccer too. So covering San Diego Waves. They have a new stadium in San Diego where Qualcomm was. Snapdragon.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really cool stadium. And then the other MLS team in LA is LAFC. And they have a really nice stadium too, right in downtown, but right next to USC actually.
There's a whole stadium there.
Oh yeah, I would walk from campus to go to games. I think was it called the LA Sports Arena? I think it's that ground.
It's that
There
one.
was a stadium
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. And so your pops is really into soccer.
Mm-hmm.
He told you he played Landon Donovan, right?
Yeah.
In tennis.
Talking about the different higher division athletes, college athletes, and then professional athletes. Like it's just Landon has that mentality. So Harry and Keith played him recently, and usually when you get to that third set, you play a 10-point tiebreak. In league, usually it's a 10-point tiebreak, and I guess Landon refused. We were playing a full set.
Really?
Yes, they were playing a full set. They were not playing a 10-point.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I remember your dad said though, like they hit him a lob and he like sprung like a cat.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know how old is he? Do you know?
40s. In his 40s. Yeah.
So he's not into. He doesn't play soccer anymore.
No, he was the
Football.
manager for second division team, the San Diego Loyal, and now he's
really?
like up in their front office.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. I didn't know that. That is so cool. Well, let's end with this because I don't want to dare forget your gift.
Oh yes, been looking forward to this.
And let me tell you, brother, this is a good card.
What's this?
Carlitos.
Nice.
So Carlos Alcaraz has he has a 2022 rookie card through Net Pro.
yeah,
But the second year, I guess this is his second year card, I now consider it. Leaf Company made some cool cards. They have some autograph cards, so there's some better versions of that. But that's sort of the base card, but I still like it. You see it's a little thick.
it's great.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
If you get it graded and it becomes like one of the higher grades, like I have one right there I paid for the grade.
Yeah.
I mean, it's $100 plus, so it's a decent
All
card.
right. Thank you.
And I think I got that for like 20
Sweet.
bucks. But if you grade it and it gets a good grade, you're looking pretty good. So
And like, if you hold on to these for longer, does the value go up, or it just depends?
I'm thinking Carlitos has to go up
Yeah.
because he's just going to keep doing a lot of stuff. And what I've been realizing lately with cards is that if you're in the mainstream, sometimes the record doesn't matter. To be honest, Djokovic's cards are not that crazy. I can buy some right now, pretty low. But the Federer cards are nuts. Naomi Osaka's cards are off the charts. Yeah. Serena, and then obviously Carlos's cards are really off the charts too. But that's a good one. So I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but thank you. I really appreciate everyone being so excited about what I'm trying to do here and just talk tennis. And I really appreciate it. And this is fun. Like I hope people really listen to what you're saying. And I think the biggest point tonight from our conversation was just that mental side of it. And I don't know how important it is just to believe in yourself. And that's just everything, truthfully. And it's what I'm telling my kids all the times too. Just believe in yourself. And if they come home and feel a little dejected, like a kid made fun of them, which happens at school. It's like, no, you're gorgeous, you're pretty. Like, these aren't lies, but it's like, you should be happy with yourself and feel good about yourself, and then
Right.
you can actually succeed. And that stuff's so important. But that's why I just love being around you, your dad, your family, very positive people.
Yeah.
And so just thank you, my friend.
Yeah,
for
of course.
coming.
Thanks
I
for
really
inviting me.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cool, Joey. Thanks, brother.